I stopped going to parks after that night. It happened when I was 22. I lived alone and worked late shifts, so my routine was simple. After work, I walked through the city park to reach my room faster. I had done it hundreds of times. The park was not scary. It had lights, benches, trees, and a small children's play area. During the day, it was full of families. That night, it was almost empty. It was December. Cold, quiet, no wind. The park lights were on, but they felt weak, like they were tired. I remember checking my phone. It was 11:47 p.m. I entered the park from the usual gate. Everything felt normal until I noticed something small but wrong. There were no sounds, no insects, no dogs, no distant traffic. Even my footsteps sounded dull, like the ground was absorbing them. Halfway through the park, I saw a man sitting on a bench near the playground. He was facing away from me. That alone was not strange, but what made me slow down was how still he was. Not relaxed still, not tired still, frozen still. I told myself he was probably drunk or sleeping. I kept walking. As I passed him, I noticed something else. His head was tilted slightly to the side, as if he was listening to something I couldn't hear. I looked at his hands. They were gripping the edge of the bench so tightly that his fingers looked stiff, white. I walked faster. Then I heard a sound behind me. Not footsteps. Breathing. Slow. Deep. Too close. I turned around. The bench was empty. The man was gone. I stood there for a few seconds, telling myself I imagined it. That fear was making things up. I laughed quietly, trying to calm myself. That was when I heard a child laugh. It came from the playground. I froze. It was almost midnight. No children were allowed there. The laugh was short and soft, like someone testing their voice. I should have left immediately. I didn't. I walked closer to the playground, each step feeling heavier than the last. The swings were moving slowly, even though there was no wind. Then I saw him. The man was standing inside the playground area near the slide. His back was to me again. He spoke without turning around. "Why do you walk here every night?" His voice was calm, not angry, not curious, just flat. I didn't answer. He turned his head slowly, only his head. His body stayed facing forward. His face looked normal, but his eyes were wrong. They were open too wide, like he was forcing himself not to blink. "You are late today," he said. That sentence broke something inside me. I ran. I didn't look back. I didn't stop. I ran until my lungs burned and my legs felt weak. I burst out of the park gate and onto the road, gasping for air. I thought it was over. It wasn't. That night, as I lay in bed, I heard something outside my window. Breathing. Slow. Deep. The same rhythm. I didn't move. I didn't check the window. I didn't sleep. In the morning, I found muddy footprints below my window. Bare feet, facing the wall, as if someone had been standing there for a long time. I never walked through that park again. A month later, I read a small news article. A man had been arrested near the park. He had been living in the trees, watching people, learning their routines. When the police searched the area, they found notebooks filled with names, times, paths. My name was there, written more than once. I still avoid parks at night, because sometimes when everything goes quiet, I remember the way he said it. "You are late today." And I know someone somewhere noticed. I'm going to tell this exactly as it happened to me. I still think about it whenever I pass a park after sunset. This happened 6 years ago when I was living alone in a rented room near an old public park. The park was big, with tall trees, broken benches, and a children's play area that no children used anymore. During the day, people walked their dogs there. At night, it became empty. No lights worked properly. Only one lamp near the gate flickered like it was tired of being alive. One evening, I stayed late at work and returned around 9:30 p.m. Taking the long road meant another 20 minutes, so I chose the shortcut through the park. I had done this before, but never that late. I told myself there was nothing to fear. It was just trees and grass. As soon as I entered, the air felt colder. Not normal cold. It felt heavy, like breathing inside a closed room. My footsteps sounded too loud on the gravel path. I tried walking faster, but the park felt longer than usual, like it was stretching. Halfway in, I heard a swing moving. The sound was slow. Creak. Pause. Creak. There was no wind. I stopped and looked toward the children's area. The swing was moving slightly, back and forth. I told myself maybe someone had been there earlier. Still, my chest felt tight. I decided not to look too long and kept walking. That's when I heard footsteps behind me. At first, they matched my pace. When I slowed down, they slowed. When I stopped, they stopped. I turned around quickly. No one was there. The path behind me was empty. Trees, darkness, silence. I felt stupid for being scared and started walking again, faster now. My heart was beating hard, and I could hear my own breath. Then I heard a voice. It was low and calm, right behind my ear. "Don't run." My whole body froze. I turned around again, still no one. But I knew I had heard it. It wasn't imagination. The voice sounded close, too close. I felt like someone was standing right behind me, breathing on my neck. I started running. I didn't care how stupid it looked. I ran toward the exit gate. My bag bounced on my back. My shoes slipped on the gravel. As I ran, I heard running behind me. Fast, heavy, not like normal footsteps, more like dragging feet mixed with running. I didn't look back. Just before the gate, something grabbed my arm. The hand was ice cold. I screamed and pulled away with all my strength. I fell forward and hit the ground near the gate. My arm burned where the hand had touched me. I turned around, expecting to see someone. There was nothing. No one. The gate was right there. I crawled, got up, and ran out of the park without looking back again. I didn't stop until I reached my room. I locked the door, checked my arm, and sat on the floor shaking. There were finger marks on my arm, not bruises, not scratches. Finger marks, white and cold, slowly turning red. I didn't sleep that night. The next morning, I told myself it was stress, fear, imagination. Still, I avoided the park for weeks. One Sunday afternoon, I decided to go during daylight and prove to myself that nothing was wrong. In daylight, the park looked normal. Old, but normal. Families walked dogs, children played, the swings were still. I felt calmer. Near the back of the park, I noticed something I had never seen before. Behind the trees, there was a small broken stone bench. On it was a metal plaque covered in dirt. I wiped it with my hand and read the words. In memory of Arun Malik, 1998 to 2014. Found deceased in this park. Cause unknown. I felt a chill. A man sitting nearby noticed me staring at the plaque. He looked old, like he had lived near the park forever. I asked him about it. He became quiet. After a moment, he said, "That boy used to run here every night, always alone. One night, people heard screaming. When they came, no one was there. They found his body near the gate. No wounds, no blood. His face looked afraid." I asked what happened to him. The old man shook his head. Some say he was chased. Some say he was called. But everyone agrees on one thing. "What?" I asked. "He hated when people ran from him." My stomach dropped. That night, I stayed awake again. Around 2 a.m., I heard something outside my window. My room was on the ground floor, facing the street. I heard slow footsteps on the pavement. Then they stopped. I heard a familiar voice, "Don't run." I didn't move. I didn't breathe. After a long time, the footsteps walked away. The next week, I moved out. I never went back to that area again. Even now, years later, whenever I walk near a park at night and hear footsteps behind me, I slow down. I never run, because some things don't like being left behind.